Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy, and I am back with another fun-filled video for you. And today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new knife that I got from a knife maker named J.D. Ellis. We'll be taking a look at that in a second, but before we get into it, if you guys notice, we got a little change of scenery. I put away the NAFS mat that I got for just this one video to show you a new mat that I got. This is a takedown mat from Chris Reeve Knives. You guys probably seen these before. There are quite a few videos on YouTube with knives being taken down using this mat. I saw it and I had to have it. It's a really pretty knife. I really do, really matte. I do enjoy this. It is all hard leather. I'm going to be doing an official video on this soon, you know, stats, measurements, the whole thing, but I just wanted you guys to take a look at this. The only downside about this is that it's fairly expensive. This thing cost me 65 bucks. But keep in mind, this is leather, guys. It is leather. It's a hard chunk of leather. So I can't really say that the price of this is, you know, about right, but you know, it is hard leather. That's what I keep telling myself. Yeah, so you could probably pick yourselves up one of these if you're looking for something, you know, more elegant than what you normally take down your knives with. Definitely looking to getting one of these. I do like it. It is a purchase that I am happy with, and I'm not at all disappointed by what I got. It's really just incredibly nice. Over time, this will develop a patina. The other thing, too, is I wish it was maybe just a little bit bigger, but it's a good size. It's a good size. So, enough of the Chris Reeve mat. Let's get on with the show here. I also want to mention one more thing, by the way. I bought a bunch of mats, guys. So, the background of my set, will change over time. You know, one day you'll see a Chris Reeve mat, the next day you'll see something else. I'll be changing it up. I think the reason I decided to do that is because, number one, I kind of wanted to collect a lot of the mats they got out there, a lot of the display knife mats out there. And I don't have any graphics on my channel, so might as well dress up the set with something, you know, different each time so you guys have a little eye candy to look at in case my videos really suck. So let's go ahead and get on to the video. We're going to be taking a look at the knife by J.D. Ellis, and here it is. Take a look at this guy. Just want to give you guys an overall view of this. Little stars and stripes action going for you. This has 16 stripes on it, 8 on either side of the knife. It is all Damas steel blade, and the back spacer slash spring, which is what this is called. It's called the spring. Is RWL34, and it has been dipped in ferric chloride to match the color of the blade. Almost, you can almost, from this point you can't really tell where the blade starts and stops, but if you look a little bit closer, you know, there it is, the angle of the light, you'd be able to see where the blade does start, but at certain points it looks like it just kind of disappears, like right there. So this is an absolutely gorgeous knife. So like I said, this is a slip joint, so I don't know if any of the younger generation are into slip joints, but basically a slip joint is a traditional knife. There's no flipper on it. There is no action really involved in the knife. Basically, it is a two-handed opening knife. You basically open the knife using the nail nick. It stops midpoint and then opens. Now that is fairly hard to open and close, but believe it or not, this is a pretty good medium open and closing. I think that's the action that the words I'm looking for. It's not that hard to open and close based on quite a few other slip joints that I've handled. So this one is just, it's perfect. It's just perfect. The spring system put in the knife is perfect. J.D. Ellis is a master of making slip joints, and every part of the slip joint is just absolutely a masterful work of art all the way around. Not only the actual art you see on the knife, but the mechanics and the way the knife opens and closes cannot be beat. It's just a beautiful, beautiful experience overall. That Dama steel blade pattern is just gorgeous. He told me the name of it, and I can't remember what it is called. But I'm sure when he sees my video, he's going to tell me what the pattern is. I think it's absolutely beautiful. What's great about this knife is, if Captain America were a knife, it's almost like they took Captain America and slammed him right onto my knife here. That's basically what it looks like. The knife reminds me sort of like the maybe old World War II look with the brass screws on there. One of the most spectacular things I found interesting about this knife are the two screws here. You don't feel them, guys. I mean, this thing is super smooth. Going across the G10, I run my finger across that. I don't feel any screws at all. I mean, that is just super freaking smooth all the way. I mean, if I were to close my eyes, I couldn't even tell you where the screws are on the knife. The color, that brass color, really stands out up against that white and that red. It's just absolutely brilliant. An amazingly stunning knife that J.D. Ellis has created. And this is, guys, a one-of-a-kind handmade piece. You're never going to see another one like it ever again. I'm pretty sure of that because there's a story behind this knife. First of all, I just want to say this is the fastest custom knife I have ever gotten. I spoke to J.D. Ellis. I'm going to go back maybe, 5 weeks ago. This knife was just an idea. I think it might even be less than that. I don't know. It could be 4 weeks. But, yeah, this knife was just an idea in his head. I caught JD on Instagram. He wasn't busy. I found some time to talk with him. He was in a talking mood. And I had asked the man for a red, white, and blue knife. That's all. And he just said to me, "Oh, stars and stripes, I've never done that. I'll give that a try." I was like, whoa, that didn't even, enter my head that I was going to have stars and stripes on my knife. But I basically gave JD the go-ahead, go for it. So he went for it. And the man is such a perfectionist. He had never done stars on a knife before. In fact, I've got pictures of the knife when the stars were not up to his liking. I'm not even going to show those because I don't want to... there's no need to show that. But basically, the reason I'm explaining that is because the man is such a perfectionist. He's so critical of his own work. He really doesn't want anything to come out of his shop unless it's to his satisfaction, and his satisfaction is perfection. Nothing less than perfection is what the man believes in. His motto is, next to excellence is the appreciation of it. So that pretty much sums up J.D. Ellis's motto and the way he makes knives and what he believes in when it comes to his workmanship and his art. So back to the story. I just told him all I wanted was a red, white, and blue knife, and he decided to try stars. So he had a little difficulty doing stars. He told me he had never done it before. It was something he was trying for the very first time. And in my opinion, that's when you want to get a custom knife maker to make your knife. Okay? when they're doing something they've never done before. And the reason I say that is because when they are doing something that they've never done before, you're catching these guys at their most creative moment. They are so psyched up to do such a job for, on the knife. Not only to give you a great product, but also to see what it is they can do with the skills that they have. Because after a while, you make the same knife over and over and over again. You might be uninspired. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But you're looking to do something new. And if you have a customer that comes up with an idea, they may be so inspired to actually give it a try. And that is the beauty of working with a custom knife maker. You never know what you're going to get. You basically explain something, and if you are lucky, they're going to be in an inspired mood like they were here. And you're going to come out with something that is completely way off left field in an amazingly awesome way. So, I mean, just take a look at I'm so blown away by it. It's just absolutely gorgeous to look at, that piece. Good God. All the way around. The blue is really blue. The white really does stand out. And if you look at the knife closely, the white on the star is completely different color than the stripe white over here. This is more of an aged cream colored look as opposed to the stars, which are white. I saw that. I thought that was absolutely spectacular. Beautiful job, JD. Really, really has an amazing eye for detail. I honestly know for a fact that this being sort of cream colored and not as white as the stars was not an accident. He intended it to look that way. So, yeah, I will be doing a more in-depth review as far as like using the knife and letting you guys know like paper cut tests and everything. But I just wanted you guys to get a good look at the knife. I wanted you guys to see what was possible on a custom knife to have done, because like I said, if you're the right person and they're in the right mood, you never know what you're going to get once the piece is completed. Yeah, and again, I got this knife so quick, so fast. I've spoken out before about custom knives. Usually when a knife maker says, it's going to be, about 6 months, it means that they've got such a large roster of customers that, if they get to you, they get to you. Just check in with them once in a while. I don't know. I think maybe I just caught JD when he wasn't as busy, or maybe he was so inspired to try it that he put the other customers' knives down for a second to concentrate on mine, because he really wanted to get into doing something different. He really was at that height where he was so inspired, and he really wanted to enjoy making the knife once it became the finished product. But he was such a perfectionist that he did finish the knife very, very quickly, and he was going to send it off to me like about a week ago, and then he looked at the stars and he thought, you know what, this is not next to excellence. So he decided to go back. It wasn't up to par with his standards. So he said, hey, Omar, what I'll do is if I can try and fix it, I'll fix it. If I can't, I'm just going to make you a whole new knife scale and start over again from scratch. And I said, that's no problem. But he got back to me later the next day, and he fixed the stars. And to be honest with you guys, I didn't even notice there was even anything wrong in the original picture. I'm not going to show you the original picture out of respect for this man. But to be honest with you, I really, actually, I thought it was the same knife. I really did. But that is what you get when you are dealing with a custom knife maker. They all believe in what they do. They will accept nothing less than brilliant, than awesome, than excellent, because they want you to enjoy their product for years and years and years. Keep in mind, custom knives may be passed on probably from father to son. It'll probably stay in the family for years and years and years. Some of them may even have some serious stories behind them. And that's basically what custom knife making is all about. It's not all about the action. It's not all about the price. It's about the final product. What does it do? How does it make you feel when you put it in your hands? You are literally holding a work of art when it comes to custom knives. So, yeah, there really isn't much for me to say on it. You would have to get, like I said, you would have to get used to a slip joint. The opening and closing of a slip joint is something that is a new experience for you. It is a two-handed open. Most of the slip joints are literally utility knives, not tactical knives. But nevertheless, that shouldn't take away from the beauty of what a slip joint represents. Like I said, I love slip joints for the mere fact that there's a lot of the old grandfather, old World War II, 1950s, you know, that whole era when really all they had probably back then was a utility slip joint of some type. This definitely would appeal to people more my age, probably not so much millennials or even younger. But, you know, it is an acquired taste. Most people that have been collecting flippers for many, many years eventually do get to something like this with the two-handed open. You know, and there's not a large market for slip joints, to be honest with you. I don't know why that is, but maybe, again, like I said, it's a generational thing. Slip joints are something that can only be enjoyed by a certain type of individual. Basically myself, someone who's old, would probably enjoy a knife more of this nature than a millennial who probably enjoys, you know, the flipping action of a ballad song as opposed to something like this. So when it comes to slip joints, we're talking about tradition. So it's just a different world. It's a completely different world that needs to be appreciated by a completely different generation. So yeah, J.D. Ellis from South Africa. A super brilliant knife maker. And a very, very sweet, sweet man. One other thing, too, is it's not difficult to get a hold of a custom knife maker, just to catch them on Instagram. They're usually talking. They're usually on. They're usually looking for customers that are into what they do for a living. So they're really, you know, they're fairly chatty. You would enjoy conversations with these guys. You know, they're just, I don't know, I think they're just awesome people. They're really awesome people that make beautiful art. So this is Omar the Knife Shark Guy. Again, I will be doing a more in-depth video on this knife. We'll be doing stats, so on and so forth at a later date. I just wanted you guys to take a look at it, talk about the knife for a little bit, talk about my story getting the knife, and talk about J.D. Ellis, the man behind this knife. So this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off, hoping you'll find this beautiful piece of sharp art in your collection someday. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and you all have an amazing evening. Stay safe.